welcome back to the No Score Review Show, where we have in-depth critique and nuanced discussion of some of the latest movies, television, and video games. I am your host, Nick Green. Today is going to be a little bit of a different show. We are once again doing a review of the Vancouver International Film Festival for the year of our Lord 2025. And I have with me, returning for the third VIFF in review, Matt Schmidt.
Oh, really? It's three in a row, huh?
3 in a row, baby. Let's keep
Wow.
this streak going. Welcome back to the No Score Review Show, Matt.
Glad to be back, as always.
And a newcomer to the show, Lucas. I forgot to get your last name. Hope it doesn't really matter. Lucas from Pelleplat.
Hey guys, my last name's Friesen for what it's worth, but thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, of course. Happy to have a new face on. Excited to have you on to chat all things VIFF. First and foremost, we will kind of just give our general thoughts of the festival overall, any specific highlights or lowlights that we wanted to touch on, as well as maybe a little bit of a brief history on our kind of experience with past festivals and whatnot. So, yeah, Matt, do you want to kick things off in that department?
What are we starting with?
So
just the general overall vibe.
Yeah, general thoughts on
okay.
The
there was
like
three things that you mentioned, and I couldn't remember what order. Overall vibes, I would say, like program wise, this was a pretty stacked year.
Okay.
Since maybe like 2019 for me, when we had like Parasite, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Marriage Story, all those like big hitters, all packed into one. It felt like it was a real challenge to make up a schedule that would not leave out several glaring omissions of what I wanted to see. And even with all of my slaving over that hot keyboard, I still ended up missing like 3 or 4 that I'm really pissed at myself about.
Well, it also doesn't help that you had your whole like pass.
That's a whole. Well,
we don't have to
talk about that later, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be a Patreon exclusive video or something.
That is definitely part of it. And yeah, I had a really good time. Only one stinker in the whole festival.
Of how many?
Of 20 films,
okay,
which is usually where I max out at. My original schedule had like 34, and then as it went on, I was like, nope, not going to that one, not going to that one. I'm not getting out of bed that early, not a chance.
Yeah.
It came down to me watching like one movie a day for the last like several days of the festival.
Wow. Lackluster cinephile.
I just can't. I don't get how people like. There's some people on fucking Letterboxd. They're like, "Oh, I'm on movie number 500 this year." I'm like, how?
What do you? Yeah. How do you not hate movies after doing that?
Know. Like, what else do you do anything else in your life? Yeah. Like, you get home from work and you just watch 3 movies and then go to bed every day.
Insane.
It's a simple life, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. If that's all that it takes to float your boat, then by all means, float away. Yeah. But yeah, was there anything else that I should say?
No, I think you covered most of it. Okay. Were there any big like highlights or lowlights? I mean, you said you had one stinker. How were the like, audiences? How was the lines and getting to and from and everything?
I mean, I got put in the pass holder line. I mean, the standby line a couple times because certain screenings were pretty full. Right. But I made it into everything that I tried to see. I didn't get turned away at all.
Okay. That's good.
And yeah, overall, I definitely had some really good audiences this time around.
Nice.
And most of them, whenever it was like a bad audience, it was only 1 or 2 people and not the whole crowd. Right. Nobody was like unwrapping tinfoil and eating like cooked fish.
I remember that story
during any of the screenings this time. Thankfully didn't have to sit in the playhouse too many times.
That's good.
My butt is thankful for that. Yeah, and I think that's my general impression of this year.
Excellent. That's good to hear. Lucas, let's hear what you dealt with this year. How was your VIFF 2025 experience overall?
It was good. It was definitely a busy one for me, busier than it's been in past years. I agree with Matt. I thought the lineup was really stacked this year. I was really impressed with what they were bringing. Obviously, a lot of stuff left over from TIFF, as it happens every year, but there was some local filming that was coming out as well. That was kind of cool. I caught a couple of like BC movies, which it's always fun to see like the local talent and see what they're doing.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it was actually pretty quality. I got to 9 movies, so not quite 20. I did 9 movies. I did one short as well. I did a screener of a short as well before the actual festival started. But I was trying to do like one a day for most of the days. I did. I took a Wednesday off. I'll be honest, guys. There was a Wednesday night. I'm like, I'm just not going to one tonight. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, man, I came close a couple times. I was very close to missing my last show just because I'd already done 2 for the day. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I kind of want to wrap it up, you know?
And then I took that Wednesday ticket. That was a sentimental value one, right?
Yeah. And I heard that was good. You enjoyed it, right?
Yeah. You missed out.
I know. I still got to catch that one. No, there was definitely a few I missed. I mean, I didn't see that many bad ones. The worst I saw, even now, I don't know if I'm changing my opinion or if I'm gaslighting myself into believing that it was good or something. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of good movies, but there were quite a few I missed. I did sit in the Playhouse quite a bit over those 10 days, and by the time I was sitting for Jay Kelly on I think the second to last day, I was like, I hate it here.
The seats are just stand at this point,
dude.
Yeah,
it's a
standing room only in the back. It's just not made for dudes with long legs.
No,
or really people with legs at all. I think.
Yeah, no, I was sitting, and there was a woman sitting in front of me, and she went to go talk to the person next to her, and she leaned, and her head went right into my knee. And all my fears were confirmed. I was like, this is my nightmare.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah, it really happened. I had to straighten up after that. I'm a sloucher too, you know. But
I mean, those seats also just are asking for slouching. Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was a good year for VIFF. For like past stuff, I try to go every year. This is definitely the most I've ever been. I never had this is my first year having a press pass.
Okay.
I had once volunteered at the festival quite a few years ago, and then you get to go to a lot of screenings for that as well. So I went quite a bit that year. Cool. In between.
But as a volunteer, though, you get let in last, right?
Yeah. It's
so you're not guaranteed to get in when you're waiting around.
No, I forget exactly how it all worked out, but yeah, it was a bit of a strange system, but made it work. Went to some pretty cool movies that year. But yeah, I try to go to one, 2, or 3 when I'm just living like my normal life. But this year, working with Pelleplat and everything, I got to go to a lot, so I was really fortunate, and awesome. Yeah, it seemed like a really strong year, I thought.
Yeah, there was definitely a ton that I was excited to go see, a ton that I missed out on. I didn't get to do the full kind of waiting eagerly at the computer for the 12 p.m. Curtain to kind of drop over the website. I missed out on quite a few of the big things that I wanted to see. But in a way, it kind of was nice because of the 11 movies I saw. I got to see focus more on smaller projects and more international movies, which was great. So yeah, kind of a blessing in disguise in a way. And I mean, a lot of these movies will get wide releases later on, so it's not like I'll never get to see them again. So if I'm going to miss any, the big pictures are going to be the ones to miss, I guess. But yeah, I overall had a pretty good year. I would say I only had one stinker really also. And that also was partially because I was fighting a cold and just general fatigue from my day job at the time. So that was showing number 2 of the day, and I was already about to pass out. And that movie was just slow as hell. So that was a rough one, but otherwise everything else was generally pretty good, above average at the very least. But yeah, I would say honestly, it might be my weakest of the 3 festivals I've done so far. especially just, I would say, with the ratio of like favorites I've had, because like generally it was kind of a more of a median score for me. There wasn't like a ton of knockouts for me or like ones that really impacted me a ton. It's really only maybe my top three that were like big, like memorable movies. So yeah, generally I would say probably the weakest I've seen so far for the festival, but doesn't mean I didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
Um,
That happens when you have to take the gamble on the smaller
yeah,
movies from less established directors and teams. You just never know really what you're going to get with those.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, overall, festival was pretty good. I had to ask someone to put their phone away once.
It's not bad.
Otherwise, I think
Yeah,
pretty good.
You
the
had
late
one of those too,
yeah,
didn't you?
actually it was the same lady who
Oh,
headed my knee
did
later
you
in the
knee her in the head
showing.
again?
No, I didn't.
Hey,
You should have.
I felt less bad when later in the show, yeah, she whipped out the phone and fired a quick text off at, like, I swear, full brightness. But
200%.
I gotta say, so I was sitting up in the balcony, and a guy in the first row down below turned his phone on first. And I saw it, and everyone saw it because he was up in the front row. I'm looking down, like, oh, this guy has his phone on. And then I think the girl in front of me, was like, I don't
oh,
know,
it's time.
it's time or
It's like,
whatever.
It's time for
he's
photos.
doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it. So I guess the movie's done.
Uh,
And so yeah, she just brightness on 100 and full text too. Not even like a quick check. Like pull it out, double thumbing.
Yeah.
Um,
A full email going on.
the lady I had to ask, like, they had during the sort of like pre-show speech and everything, they had introduced the director of the movie was in the theater with her family and everything, and they were sitting in the same room that I was, so they were behind the person that just took their phone out, and it's like, guys, like, what are we
That's not
doing?
going to be a good feeling
No.
when somebody's
Right?
watching your movie and they're
God.
like, I'm going to be on my phone instead.
Yeah,
that's harsh.
but thankfully it was minimal. I definitely have had worse audiences and worse years. So yeah, overall I would say generally pretty good. Pretty happy with how it turned out. It's another one in the books. So without a further ado, let's get into our favorite picks of the festival. Matt, actually,
Sure.
you know what, Lucas, let's get you
Whoa.
to start this section.
Okay.
Let's throw a curveball.
Yeah, geez. Put me on the
You're ready,
spot.
right?
I am. I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, I've gone on record already saying that The President's Cake was my favorite movie. So I
saw that.
gotta stick with the narrative that I have spun
can't flip-flop.
for
You gotta-
myself. And it's a really quality movie. It's from Iraq, which is like,
Okay.
so it's a harder movie, I think, to find. I don't know if it's going to get distribution or if it's just through festivals, but the cinematography was really great. It won an award at the Cannes Film Festival, which was, I guess it was the award for, like, best first time filmmaker, because I guess this is technically his debut feature film. And you wouldn't know it looking at it. I mean, maybe story wise you could say a little bit, but like visually and the skill behind it, it was a super nice movie to watch, which really goes far for me.
Do you want to just give a quick, like, little synopsis of what it's about?
Picture yourself, okay? I'm taking you on a
go.
visual journey. Thanks, guys. You're a 9-year-old Iraq girl in Iraq. I don't know why I say it twice. That was dumb. But anyway,
Well, you could be
Iraq
a
girl
girl
in
from
Canada.
Iraq.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know a few
girl in
Iraq
Iraq.
I'm with you
girls
still.
in Canada.
You haven't lost me
yeah.
yet.
So
Yeah.
she's there. It's the 90s, and
Okay,
Saddam,
you lost me. I don't know what the 90s are.
It was
tail
a
end of
time.
90s. It's really not.
Okay.
accurate. Please,
Sorry.
okay.
Please continue. I'm going back in my zone.
Saddam Hussein is running things. So
So it's pre-hole hiding.
Yes, he had not.
He's not in the hole
The
yet.
hole was not part of Saddam's lore yet. If he hadn't, at this point, Saddam was the man. Okay.
It's pre-hole.
Yeah,
Saddam
pre-hole,
Hussein.
pre-hole.
Pre-hole
Saddam.
Hussein. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Trying to give you a synopsis here.
I'm sorry.
Getting caught up on the hole here.
Yeah.
And no, so like, what happens? It's his birthday, and I guess in this time, Iraq was like, Saddam tells his own countrymen, he's like, you guys got to celebrate for me. So everyone has to come up with the stuff, and but it's like small. So like she goes to school or whatever, this 9-year-old girl, and the teacher who's dressed like Saddam, like just fully believes he's Saddam. And
Okay.
seriously, he comes in. He's like, so for Saddam's birthday, we're doing all this stuff. Like we got to bring like juices, and we got to bring fruits, and we got to bring a cake. And he does a raffle to pick, and she gets tasked with having to make a cake. Prior to this, the teacher makes it very clear that if she does not make the cake, like she's going to be killed, pretty much. Just yeah, Jesus. Really. So her back's up against the wall.
Understandable.
Yeah. It takes place during a time when there was, I guess, UN sanctions on Iraq, so they can't afford anything. So it's just like her journey trying to make this cake, pretty much. And so it should be simple, but the country she's in and the time of history she's in, it just makes it like impossible for her. So I just, on top of the cinematography, because they're living in the Iraq marshlands, which I did not know existed until this movie.
Me neither.
So I'm watching it, and it's like the where they live and the way they travel by boat and everything through this land. It's just like so gorgeous. I'm like, but they're super rural. They're living in this little village, right? And so they have to go into the town to get this the ingredients, and chaos ensues. Pretty much, it's her journey to finding it. Yeah, I don't know. And so it's just the cinematography is good, and then the kind of the subtext of what she's going through is really interesting, because I'm a bit of a history guy myself. So when I see stuff like this, I am interested, pretty much. And yeah, and then just her journey of trying to get in all the obstacles she faces. It was just a harrowing story to watch. It was pretty sad, honestly, but it had its humorous moments. Mm-hmm. And it's just definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's a really cool story, and like I said multiple times, the cinematography and the shots are really top notch. So that took it. I mean, it was After the Hunt was a close second, but I just had to give it.
Yeah,
I had to be. Although people will probably talk about After the Hunt more in the coming months, The President's Cake.
I think it was just came out on the 10th.
Mm-hmm. It came out on the Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think limited, so we'll see if it's going to go more.
Well, is it a Netflix thing, or what's the?
I don't think so. They were Warner Bros, so I don't know what they're thinking. Theaters or what, but
HBO Max probably.
Oh yeah, good call.
Don't you mean Max or HBO
no.
Go or Show?
Yeah. HBO, I don't know.
Yeah, it's that one actually. I think that's what they've gone with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll stop there. That was my top pick.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Matt, I wish I could have seen that one, but it was on the first day, I think, where I didn't have a pass. So I couldn't go see it. That was going to be the first movie I saw the whole festival, but it just didn't work out. But I'm glad that it was good. I'm definitely going to have to try and search it out then when it becomes more available. Mm-hmm. As for myself, I was actually thinking about this a lot today. Trying to sort of figure out my favorites. You had a pretty
clear front runner for a while.
I did, and that's still the one.
Okay.
After all of the going back and forth in my mind, I gotta say my favorite was Deathstalker.
What's Deathstalker, Matt?
Well, I'll tell you.
Yay!
It was the first night that I was able to go. So I guess the Friday. I started off by seeing Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie at the Rio, which was just a great, first of all, like tone setter, just getting you in a good mood, and had great crowd energy. And then I stayed at the Rio for Deathstalker, and a lot of people also stayed over for the second screening. So there was a lot of carryover of the good vibes. And I didn't really know what to expect from it. I know that it was a like remake / sequel / reboot of like a Roger Corman 80s fantasy action movie, with like sort of like Conan the Barbarian kind of vibe, but more like more bloody and disgusting. Mm-hmm. And it's made by the guy who did like Psycho Gorman and some other stuff. He's a big like VFX prosthetics guy, and he got to the chance to get this IP and then write a script and direct this movie. And makes the whole thing just with like practicals of everything. There's basically no VFX in the entire movie except for some green screen and stuff. They go out of their way to do everything for real by building little like animatronic monsters and having crazy costumes and doing all of these like practical blood effects with squibs and like sawing through people's necks and hacking off arms and stuff. And they really like play into the fact that it's practical. They're not trying to make it look realistic. They're just trying to make it look good and fun.
Yeah.
And so there's ends up being a lot of like, I would say even intentional comedy from it.
Okay.
Because they're leaning into like the camp a lot. And you can tell in the dialogue as well. It's really like tongue in cheek, obviously cheesy and stupid dialogue, but they're really like leaning into it and giving you a bit of a wink at the same time. But like, it's just stuff that looks so silly, but it is made with care. And you can just tell that everybody was having such a blast on set. And there's one fight scene in it where the villain that they're trying to fight has like, he's got a giant chain with saw blades on the end that are rotating. And they're like, okay, well, how the hell do we shoot this fight? And they're like, well, what if we just don't have the characters on screen at the same time ever? So the one dude is just like throwing this chain out there, and then it'll just sort of like stay in the air and then spin for a minute and then get sucked back, or it'll like destroy a wall or something. And they are just always almost reusing the exact same shot of the guy throwing the chain, and then it'll just like fly off screen, and then they're doing this whole fight and there's never a double shot of these two characters. But there isn't like every other fight sequence in the movie, but they're just, with this one, they're like, oh, I don't know how we do that. Well, let's just, take this little funny shortcut, and then it becomes like a joke in itself of how they're solving all of these sort of budget and logistics problems. Nice. And Patton Oswalt's in there playing like a little goblin wizard. There's like an old dude that's playing like an evil wizard called Necromemnon. Like, they all have crazy ass weird names. And there's some, like, a heavy metal soundtrack. Slash produced it. He like exec produced and did a lot of the guitar work on the score. That's cool. And it had some great audience moments. Like, there's one part at the end where they get like the mega sword, which is a ridiculous like 4-bladed sword, and everybody in the audience was just cheering when the guy like picked this thing up. And it was just like a really great overall time. It's definitely not the most highbrow thing by any means. And I thought about, oh, maybe I should give it to After the Hunt or Sentimental Value or Nouvelle Vague of these like more pristine, like more put together sort of films. But I just think that Deathstalker really knew what it needed to be, and it knocked it out of the park in like every single way that it needed to become the movie.
We don't get that type of cinema a lot anymore.
No,
right? Like
it's like a blockbuster B movie, because it's just so ridiculously campy and almost low budget, but clearly not, because they put a lot of time and money into making the costumes and the effects and everything. Like, a lot more work than a lot of blockbuster movies do with their whole blue screen and CGI after the fact kind of thing. Like, they all had to put so much effort into this movie beforehand to make it turn out the way that it did. Like, everything is so intentional. I cannot recommend it enough. It is just such a gem. And it just second movie that I watched, and it just couldn't be beat by anything, really.
Damn.
Cool.
That's great.
That sounds like a crazy movie.
It really is, and I can't wait to have like a big watch party with people.
Yeah, it sounds like
I think it would absolutely be a good watch with friends movie, and watch with a little bit of a buzz as well. Great time.
That's awesome.
Well, what about you, Nick?
Oh, Matt, I'm glad you asked. My favorite pick of the festival. It was a bit of a toss-up for a while, but I am very pleased to say that my most anticipated film of the festival that I was able to see was, in fact, my favorite.
Yeah,
And
nice.
Arco, the last thing I saw for the festival, the thing I was very close to just checking out and going home early, ended up being my favorite. I'm glad I stuck around. It is a French animated film about a little boy named Arco who accidentally time travels to the past, although the past in this case being 2075. So still relative distant future. And it's basically follows his kind of journey to try and get back home. And he makes friends with this little girl, Iris, who is from that time period. And it's basically just like an adventure film, sci-fi adventure. And yeah, it's amazing. It's got some really stunning, just like composition, and like the animation style almost looks like rotoscoping, especially with like some of the face movement and stuff. But it's just all hand drawn 2D, um, but has this really unique sort of sci-fi style. It's like borderline retrofuturism some of the time, with some like solar punk thrown in there as well. Um, but yeah, just a really fun, heartwarming adventure film. Very reminiscent. I've only seen one, but reminiscent of Studio Ghibli films, based on what I know. It's got a pretty decent English dub cast. It features Natalie Portman,
Did you watch
Mark
the English dub
Ruffalo. Yeah,
or
they
the
played the English
original?
dub.
Interesting.
I don't know what. I think it was just because I think Natalie Portman is actually one of the producers for it.
Mm,
So I think maybe like they had a hand in pushing the English dub in like Western theaters and everything.
makes sense.
Um, but yeah, like a standout cast, and honestly, like still a pretty decent dub. I am very interested to see it with the original dialogue and everything, um, just to see if it is able to kind of land those emotional notes a little better. Because I find that's usually like some of what gets kind of taken out of the original context sometimes. But still pretty decent dub, and just has some really stunning like set pieces. It has like a whole chase through Iris's hometown as there's a wildfire encroaching. Um, and there's robots, there's that like Arco's time travel
Robots.
like method is this rainbow cape and this magical gem that he wears atop his forehead. So it's like very unique sort of concepts, with some other familiar like sci-fi tropes and everything. But yeah, it's just all around a good film. I had a great time with it. I can't really say much
Hmm,
more other than good movie.
That's cool.
good movie.
So
I saw it in the VIFF pamphlet, and I wanted to go to it, but then I didn't. So,
such is the case.
This,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, especially this year, that I wanted to go to that one too. My like my initial list of stuff that I thought, oh, this might be interesting, was nearly 100 movies long, and then I had to
yeah.
keep cutting it down, and it's just a lot of things that need to end up being cut from the list.
Did
Yeah. Uh,
Did Arco look French at all, or did it just look like Japanese?
uh can't say that I've seen a ton of French animation.
I don't think the style is anything like that. But I just was wondering if it was like any sort of like French
Give French
tendencies,
vibes.
yeah, or vibes, or so
Mm,
like did they
no,
toss
I
out?
would say it does lean more
Did it
Japanese.
take place in futuristic France or in some like made up
It's
city?
like all pretty divorced from reality, other than
Mm-hmm.
like I don't even know if they mention that it's like on Earth. Like I mean
Mm-hmm.
it's an Earth like planet and everything. Um but yeah, it's like all um kind of nondescript locations. Like the time period Arco is from, his sort of civilization lives atop these giant sort of mega structures that are kind of like tree-like, and they just like live above the clouds because it's like supposedly they had to abandon the surface because they just like ruined, or I think it was because of flooding, I think. Um, but yeah, I would say it leans more Japanese. But yeah, one other thing that really stood out to me was the score. It's got an absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. Like I looked it up. I tried to look it up anyway as I was taking the train home, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So unfortunately, it's not out for listening quite yet. But hopefully, if it gets like a wide release and everything, it'll come to like Spotify and everything. But
Sweet.
Yeah,
was it like
really
electronic music?
No, it's like all orchestral, like really big sweeping.
Orchestral.
Yeah.
I like orchestral.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's about it that I've got for Arco. Strongly recommend it. Another animated film, like that's one thing that's been very consistent across my 3 festival goings is all of the animated films I've seen, except for maybe one, have all been like top tier stuff.
Yeah. Like Flow, Robot Dreams.
The one Ghibli film I've seen.
Oh yeah, of course. Boy and Heron. Can't forget that.
I watched that one. It was good.
Yeah, that was great.
I see that Neon has the Arco rights for the US.
So, really?
Yes.
So maybe they'll actually put that out in some sort of capacity out to theaters in the future here.
Let's hope so. Yeah, they do a pretty good job at pushing the films they acquire. So let's just hope Arco kind of gets its due with respect.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah,
that's
cool. Well, we're doing pretty good on time. If we wanted to do a quick round robin of a little honorable mention of
well,
sure.
I had a question, and I don't know I don't know what kind of podcast this is, guys. Okay, I'm coming in a bit blind, but there was mention of stinkers earlier, and I was thinking, maybe we could talk a bit about biggest stinker of the.
Let's do it. Yeah,
festival.
We've been all praise.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's talk about our least favorite of the festival.
Mainly because I'm still working through whether I actually liked my least favorite or not. And Nick, I'm worried we might have gone to the same movie because you said something about being so boring and almost fell asleep.
Here we go.
Interesting.
That makes me excited. Well,
did you go to the Mastermind?
No, I did not go to the Mastermind. Look, we're gonna have 2 different stinkers.
Dang.
I think we're all sort of in the same boat for what kind of movie made it a stinker for us.
With festivals, sometimes you get the slow plodding movies. You know, it's not unheard of. But I went to the Mastermind at the. Did you guys get down to the Granville Island stage for any movies?
That was where I saw Arco. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's I liked the venue, but the movie itself, it was a little bit. It's kind of playhousey, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, the Mastermind with Josh O'Connor, this new movie. I don't know.
Oh yeah, one of the sort of headliner ones.
Yeah, it was just. It's one of those. Sometimes you wonder, like, am I in the wrong headspace going into a movie? I don't know.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm in a good. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, so maybe it just is the movie, but. It was so slow. It was the movie had such a plodding pace, and then afterwards, like I went with a couple people and they didn't like it, but I had a few friends in like the stands around, and I would hit them on DMs afterwards, and they're like, "We loved it," and then, so I'm like, okay, something's not added up here because that was the boringest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. But then I started thinking about it, right? Yeah. Apparently this director, I don't know her name, but
it's Kelly Reichardt.
Yes, she's made a few before. It's not her first movie, and I guess she's known for a slow plodding pace. And I'm like, okay, so if the pace was on purpose, let's put that into a possibility. And it was boring. What else was the movie showing us? Was it actually something good? And so this is where my head's been the past like week. Trying to figure out if I actually like this movie or not, because I keep thinking about it. Yeah. Because the ending was kind of good, but I didn't care about the character at all, But then I'm like, he's supposed to be unlikable, and I'm usually a guy who likes unlikable main characters. Yeah. But then I was like, but it was so boring. I keep coming back to the idea that I was so bored. Right. But I can remember all the scenes, and I'm like, but the scenes, like visually the movie looked pretty good when you think about it. Like it was a kind of a period piece within like the 80s,
Okay.
and so it looked nice. It had that 80s kind of vibe, 80s charm, if you will.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the worst part is that I'm not like, I'm thinking like, do I want to rewatch this movie? I'm like, don't do it, Lucas. You're gonna hate your life if you watch this again. But I'm like, but what if it was good? I'm like, you hated it the first time, dude. Why would it change? And I'm like,
Maybe
is it a long movie?
no, it's only like 90 minutes. It feels longer. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know,
you should
but
try maybe watching some of her other films and see if they click, and then go back to it. I haven't seen. I just looked up her filmography while you were talking, and I haven't seen anything that she's made. So I have no frame of reference. But I have had similar experiences with like slow movies in the festival. Like I saw Memoria back in 21, which was also right after Drive My Car in the same venue, which didn't help. But
hey, I read your article about that, by the way, today.
Oh yeah,
your article.
Cheers. Thanks.
Real
mate.
sad, dude.
Yeah, a little bit. But I just like, I could not keep my eyes open during Memoria. I was just so checked out. And I think a lot of it can just come down to the festival mindset. When you're watching so many other movies in succession, then you see a movie that's kind of like that needs its time to breathe. It can really put you off if you're trying to like be engaged, and then you compare it to like, oh, the other 3 movies that I saw in the last 2 days, and it doesn't really like keep your attention the same way, and it can really dull the enjoyment and the engagement a lot. Because I think too, like Memoria is probably a film that I would like a lot if I just watched it at home in a vacuum. Same with Power of the Dog. I didn't really care much for that movie, and I saw it right after watching Worst Person in the World, which I loved. So it's like you see these movies back to back, and it really it puts them all in a different kind of perspective than if you would just see them in like a normal pace in the real world, and not inside the VIFF world.
Grind to a halt a bit in your daily momentum of seeing all these other movies and whatnot.
Yeah. Matt, I watched The Power of the Dog in a vacuum, if you will, on my couch. And let me tell you, I didn't like it any more than sounds like you like it. Because
well, can't win them all.
I don't think the problems that I had with the movie anyway are things that would be solved by watching it in a different setting.
Yeah.
But it just definitely didn't help at all.
But yeah, Mastermind, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that I didn't go out of my way to see that movie as well.
Agreed. Matt, what bored you to death in this festival?
For me, it was Sekai Paradise. It was a movie that I was waiting for in International Village when the Peloplat team was all set up down there. I was like, oh, I'll go see this. It was just so... like I'm also a guy that I like slow cinema. I'm a big fan. It's kind of what my vibe is when I'm making things, is making slow cinema. But this one just like felt like there was no purpose really behind anything. It's just like, oh, you know, it was also like 71 minutes, super short, but it felt so fucking long.
That's gotta be an indicator.
And I'm like, come on, how can a 71 minute long movie drag like this?
That's insane.
But it was like, oh, this, you know, Japanese guy is bummed out because he broke off his engagement with his fiance 6 months ago, and he's going back to his, like, I don't know, his hometown or somewhere to like deliver the news to his old friends and his parents, and he's just sort of like moping around, and he isn't really like doing anything. He doesn't want to confront this stuff. He's sort of living in the past. And then they want to go to this like old shut down amusement park or something called Sekai Paradise, and it takes so long to get there in the movie that you're like, okay, finally. And then they just walk around this place, and he like the whole thing hinges on him like he opened up his phone to like send a headshot, because he's like an actor or something. He's trying to send a headshot to his agent, and then he opens up his pictures and sees like old photos of his ex. And then one of his friends is like, well, it's probably a good thing that you saw those photos, because otherwise you would just bury those feelings forever. And like that was the reveal of
I don't
like
know.
the,
Yeah, I don't know if
and
that's
I'm
how it
just like,
works, but
come on, this is it. Like the whole thing just comes down to him being like, yeah, I guess I do have to process this stuff and in order to move on. But it didn't like offer really anything interesting or anything thought provoking. Really, it seemed just super surface level, which is not what you want from slow cinema, because the whole thing is like you need to be making the audience think about stuff when you're
Yeah.
not showing anything happening. If you're just showing nothing and making the audience feel nothing, then that's just a big,
They're gonna
and
start
that's, and
thinking
I
in
would
their head,
just, I
"Am
just
I
had to
watching
close
this?"
my eyes in
Yeah.
like a good chunk of the movie, but nothing was happening
yeah,
anyway, so it didn't even matter
Yeah.
that I couldn't read the subtitles, because most of the time they were not talking, and whenever they were talking, it wasn't anything interesting that they were
Mhm.
saying.
yeah,
I had the
yeah.
same thing happen in my movie, Matt. I mean, I was dog tired in that screening, but I was just like, I don't care anymore. I genuinely don't care how this movie is gonna end, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna rest my eyes for a little bit. Um, yeah, my offender was called Dance of the Living. Um, it's
Mm.
about a father and daughter who are both like heavily entrenched in the traditional wrestling, like Hispanic wrestling
Yes, the lucha
world,
libre, if you
Yeah, the
will.
Yes.
luchadors.
Love that shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's not like any of the frilly high
Oh,
intensity like masks and stuff. It's like the like
Oh,
full on traditional, like they're just like
ah,
bear hugging in a dirt ring
it's like
basically.
sumo,
Yeah,
but
mm,
Mexican.
basically. But it follows a father and daughter after they lose their wife and mother. So basically, just like processing their grief and everything and trying to reconnect. But it's a 92-minute film, and it just drags its feet, twiddles its thumbs for most of the runtime. It the catharsis at the end is not a catharsis. It's like comes way too late in the movie for it to be earned in any sort of way of this sort of reconnection of the father and daughter.
mm,
Um, and yeah, it kind of has like a couple like aimless subplots here and there. It retreads, like it feels like it like just shows a lot of repetitive footage, like the dad being sad in his like tow trailer camping trailer thing, and like them at practice doing their wrestling with their friends and family and whatnot, and then they'll like sit at a dinner table and like there'll be a birthday party, and then they're going to sell like one of their dogs to another local in the same town, and that has absolutely no connection to anything else in the movie. um yeah, it just was very, felt very aimless, didn't feel like it had enough behind that sort of central plot point and sort of character development between these two
mm,
people. And yeah, I just was like, I feel like more than bored, I feel like I was actively uninterested in partaking in the movie anymore.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know again if it was my fatigue, if it was the again like the festival sort of being sandwiched between other movies, or what. But yeah, that was my stinker of this year's festival.
I'm sorry to
So
hear that, dude.
yeah, I'm
It's
sorry to
always
hear
a
it
bummer.
too.
I
It's
hate bad movies
yeah,
Thanks
that
for,
aren't good
but
to
hey,
thanks
me.
for
you
being.
know what? It takes bad to notice the good,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's
there are always
true.
going to be some of those that just don't hit
Exactly.
right. It's just too
Yeah,
bad it had to be a lucha libre one. You know, usually
Yeah.
I know.
they're known for their entertainment.
Yeah, how do you make a boring lucha libre movie?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
If Nacho Libre taught me anything, it's that it's tough to mess up.
We've got two ends of the spectrum now, though, at least for our lucha libre
That's
films.
true. That's true.
Well,
yeah,
the theme of VIFF 2025 stinkers is boredom, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's how it
Mhm.
goes. But there, like I said, there's more good ones than bad ones, honestly. And even like, even the Mastermind, I still don't actually know if I hate it. Right now, it's my biggest stinker, but
you're thinking about it. It's stuck with you.
It might not stay. And if it's not that, I don't know what would be my stinker, because everything else had a certain level of merit to it. It may not have been like my favorite story of all time, but there was elements that I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Or this is unique to watch or something like that, right?
Could just be a stinker relative to everything else you saw.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. We'll leave it there for this VIFF in review for this year. Thank you both so much for joining me. Lucas, thank you especially for being on the show.
Thanks
Hope
for
you
having
had
me
a
on.
good time.
I think so, yeah.
So where can the people find you? You also feel free to give a little bit of a rundown of Pella Platt. Matt has already kind of sung its praises in a couple of previous episodes.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Gas up your place of employment, then feel free. Now is the time to do so.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for the opportunity. But so I write over at Pella Platt, obviously. And you can find me there. You can read my articles. I covered all this stuff in more. Not that I wasn't in depth here, but you want to hear me ramble on more about movies, that's a spot. Like I got The President's Cake, and also my thoughts on Nouvelle Vague, After the Hunt. And yeah, it's on Pella Platt, which is it's like a social media for movie and TV aficionados, TV fans. We do monthly writing challenges, but it's also just free for anyone to write articles and post reviews about movies, TV, K-drama, anime, whatever you're into. There's always something being discussed on Pella Platt. It's just a place that's free, and you can join it anytime you want and go there and read my articles. I write under the name just Lucas, so you can find me there. And I think that's my plug.
Great.
There you go.
All right. Any other like quick plugs or anything? Your socials or anything, or just the Pella Platt?
Lucas from the Cinema on my Instagram. You can follow me there. But again, it's just me posting my Pella Platt articles.
It's just the links.
Just right back to it. I'm a writer, so that's what I do. I'm not, I'm not a photographer. I'm not a videographer. So I just got thoughts about movies, and I love to talk about them. And but it's always fun to hop on a podcast as well and work the old speech chops. Make sure I can still do this as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a warm up for tomorrow because you're doing movie club, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be out way before this podcast is. But
we are doing a movie club, which is free to join as well. You can find details of that on Pella Platt on my profile or on my Instagram. You got to join it's run through the Pella Platt Discord. It's an easy platform for us to hop on there and everyone can converse. And we're holding it tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the movie National Anthem, if you've ever seen it. But there'll be another one, because considering tomorrow's pretty quick, there's be another one in November as well. So stay tuned on Pella Platt. There'll be more information for that coming out shortly.
Do you guys record those conversations after, or is it just the live feed on the Discord call?
No, we record it as well. So we record it, and right now I posted the last discussion fully on Pella Platt. There is a video option on that website as well. And we're working on getting something more established for putting it out on YouTube and getting it more properly distributed.
Awesome. That's great. Yes, Pella Platt is the place to find Lucas. It is the place to find all three of us, actually.
For sure.
But Matt, I'll let you speak more to that if you have any specific plugs or articles or anything you want to shout out.
Well, just follow me on Pella Platt as well. Matthew Allen Schmidt, you can find me. I also made a Instagram account for more film, TV, music reviews. You can find me there at Critically Matt. I don't really use Letterboxd anymore now that I've started writing for Pelaplat because I can
Who
do the
needs
more
Letterbox, right?
long
Like
form stuff.
what even is Letterbox?
I mean,
It's
Letterboxd has its
2025, guys.
purpose, but I don't know. I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah.
I there's too much of like a grind kind of like mentality on there where it's like, oh, I've watched more movies than you, or I have more likes on my 2-sentence Twitter review that I posted before the 50 other people that said the same thing. So therefore I get top comment. I don't know. It's a good sort of database to navigate and find movies and just keep track of the stuff that you watch. But I really like the more long form discussions and analysis, which really doesn't thrive on that platform, at least anymore. It's really become a lot of the more quick whatever reviews.
Right.
But Pelaplat's great for that because you can, you're encouraged to have that long form stuff, and you can add in like videos and photos and stuff that you can't do on Letterboxd. And you can really like make the whole article sort of like an art piece almost in a way.
Well, and the people engaging with your article as well are leaving a little bit more thoughtful and structured comments, and
some more substance,
wanting to engage a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, on Letterboxd, I had to fucking turn on my like privacy settings that only my follower or like my mutuals can leave comments, because I had a few reviews that kind of like shot up in the charts on a few films, and I would just get random ass people coming in and being like, actually your opinion's wrong and you're gay, and and I was like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and say the exact same thing to every person who reads the first sentence of my review and comments and doesn't read the rest of it. So yeah, then that just killed a lot of the discussion that would happen as well. But it's like, I don't know. I don't want to have to diffuse bullshit in the comments all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, you can find Matt and Lucas and myself on Pelaplat. I've got a page on there as well under No Score. You can stay tuned wherever you're listening to or watching this episode of the No Score Review Show on YouTube or your favorite podcast listening service. I have, again, slowly been rolling out reviews in the last few months. I'm going to be trying to get a Peacemaker Season 2 review out now that is all done, especially considering I gave myself the pressure of having just re-reviewed the first season. So got to do Season 2 now, right?
You should get Antonio on for that.
I will. Yeah, definitely get him on for that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I don't know what else in the pipeline is going to be getting. I actually also have plans to do a Predator franchise and review ahead of Badlands coming out.
I just saw the trailer for that one
because I am excited for Badlands. So I think
looks
that
interesting.
might be a good excuse to do a little re-review of the whole franchise. So
I was a little upset or like worried that I saw it had like a PG-13 rating. I was like, is this going to be bad? And then they're like, don't worry, guys. It's going to be fucked up. It's just because all of the blood is like green or white, because it's like robots and aliens instead of people. As long as there's no red blood, you can do whatever the hell you want. So it's still going to be brutal, awesome. Which is very reassuring.
That is reassuring. Yeah, totally. Well, and my faith in Dan Trachtenberg is at an all-time high with Prey and Killer of Killers that came out earlier this year. I'm just very excited to see what he does with that movie. So yeah, stay tuned for the franchise and review and maybe a Predator Badlands review after that. That'll be in a while.
I'm sure we'll talk about Avatar when that comes out as well.
Oh yeah.
The Way of Fire or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the element is.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys big Avatar fans?
Yes, actually.
I'm a decent. I wouldn't say like a huge fan, but I'm not a hater by any means.
No, I wasn't huge on the last one. I liked it. Like OG original Avatar is I love it. So great.
It's great.
I wasn't crazy about the Way of Water though. I don't know.
I wasn't crazy about it. I thought, it was cool what they did with the tech. Yeah, and it's just like it looked really cool. I liked the idea of the expanding the universe a little bit. I am more excited for this one because it seems like it's going to be more like Na'vi versus Na'vi rather than just rehashing the humans and Na'vi conflict again. But yeah, I don't know. I think it gets overhated, and I have a whole like article planned to talk about the politics behind Avatar and the like the false flag stuff going on with like a big industry that tried to plant all of this Avatar hate online because they didn't like the anti-imperialist and pro-environmental messages of the film, so then they tried to like turn the public against the movie. I think it's a really interesting thing to look at that a lot of people don't really think of with Avatar. It's always just like, oh, white person playing alien that is a representation of the indigenous people, and that's like the biggest crime in the world right now. But anyway, I'll save that for my.
You can stay tuned for Matt's article on
that article. That's something I would read. I want to read that.
It'll come. It was going to be in my hot takes, my cinematic hot takes thing, but I didn't get to it in time, so I did something else.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with a writing challenge just so whatever you just said
fits into that. Perfect. Favorite James Cameron movie?
Your favorite anti-woke take on a movie?
Your favorite movie that was getting closed down because of its environmental themes.
Perfect. But yeah, otherwise, you can find me on all things No Score on the socials, at No Score or at No Score Reviews. You can find me on Letterboxd as well. For the rest of October, I'm going to be trying to tackle, now that this festival is done, I'm going to tackle my 31 horror movies of the month. Doing my best to get through that. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, my list this year is Hooptober themed.
Hooptober compliant Halloween list.
Exactly. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Lucas, Matt, thank you once more for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll see you all in the next review. Bye-bye.